So, hello everyone. Uh, my name is Don Kim, and I'm representing the G-Star here. And then I'm living in the Germany, and I have worked in the gaming business over 15 years. And any of you are in Korea before? Okay, one. Okay, good. Yeah. Okay, good. And then all of you guys are interested in the Asian gaming market, right? And you want to get into the Asian market with your games, I guess. So it's not about the very complicated pitches. The time is not so long, but I want to give you some overview of the Asian and the Korean gaming business, and then there's some introduction about the G-Star as well. So as you know, that about nearly 50% of the overall market, the gaming market, is accounts on the Asian region, Asian Pacific region. So total, according to the new zoo, that the total worldwide gaming market is 108 billion US dollar worth. Out of that, about 47% is from Asia, and then about roughly a quarter of the total market is China, and then the rest is for the Japan, Korea, and then other Southeast Asian countries. Out of the 10 largest mobile gaming market, the China is definitely the largest gaming market in the world, and the second is the Japan, and then USA is third, and then Korea is fourth. So that is quite impressive, because with the number of the gamers users are only 15.5 million people, but still the overall the gaming volume, the worth is that 1.3 billion US dollar worth. And the reason is that Korea is very heavily using the mobile games, and then the payment, our ARPU is very high. It's 86.9 for nearly 87 US dollar per person. So we spend quite a lot of money on the mobile game. Next to the Japan. Japan is 89.88, so spend quite a lot of money on the mobile game. And whereas the other countries are spending very less, So Korean gaming market, just roughly wrapping up, and there's many things was going on. And the Korean mobile game market size is just roughly over 50%. It's right now the 51% according to the current statistics. And then it's around 4.4, so 4.8 trillion, so 440 million US dollar. I'm sorry that the mistype. And then we have the mobile game has overtaken the online game. Still, online game, the MMORPG is quite strong in the Korean market, but the mobile game is growing fast. So it has been the size has overcome the online game, the game market. And then out of that, currently there are a few things that the interesting thing is that the Black Desert Online creator, the Pearl Abyss, has recently bought the CCP Games for 425 million. So CCP Game is a very famous developer of the EVE Online game. So this will make some impact on the worldwide gaming market. Also, the PUBG, the developer of the Battleground, has downloaded over 100 million times on iOS and Android after they developed the mobile game version. And then which have launched 5 months ago and hit the 50 million the US dollar revenue. And then I don't know if you have known the Kakao Games, which is a big the chatting app in Korea, and they have invested in the 6.8 million US dollar on the esports company called Neptune. And then also the Lineage, which is the IP of the NCSoft, which lasted nearly 20 years, has tripled the 2018 second quarter operation profit compared to the last year, with 150 million US dollars. So with this old IP that they are developing the new the variations and like Lineage, the mobile versions and so on. So they still creating a lot of the money out of that. So this is a rough news about the Korean gaming market. And if you want to develop the game for the Korean gaming market, then the user preference in the Korean market is like this. And most of the mobile phone the Koreans are using is a Samsung. It's a very famous one, of course. And then the OS, the operation system is Android. And the search engine is a Google, which is new because we normally use the Korean native search engine called the Naver. And then the web browser, the Chrome become a #1 web browser, and the Twitter become a social network, app. But the messenger is Kakao Talk is definitely top one messenger in Korea, and then it is used as a platform for all the banking and then the gaming platform. And just the overview of the Korean games market is that mobile game players about 17.5 million people, and the average CPI is less than $1 in the Android system and the $1.66 in the iOS. And the ARPU I already explained, and the ratio of the men and woman for the gamer is roughly one-third is woman and then the two-thirds is the man. And the most profitable game is the Black Desert on the iOS and the Lineage Mobile in the Android. And as you see that in Korea, most of the people are using the Samsung phone with the Android system. So please keep in mind that when you develop the game over there. And the mobile tablet operation system in the market share is nearly 80% Android and the 20% iOS. So be careful that Android is definitely very dominant system in Korea, and then also payment and then all the preparation should be fit to the Android. That is very important. And then, as you see that mobile game users are about 28%, nearly 30% is between the 25 to 34 year old, and then the under 24 years old people are only 10%, and then the rest is after 25 years old, and then the still 35 to 44 is 27%. So I think that the average game users in Korea is quite pretty older than the other countries. And then this is the payment system they used for the gaming, as the cash is quite high, and then there's still credit card and the check card, mobile banking and internet banking and mobile banking. So cash is, I think that not only for the mobile game, but it is because we use a lot of the play the game on the PC-based game. So that is included here. This is how you distribute the game in Korea, just briefly to give you an idea. There are, as you know, that there are 3 ways of distributing the game overseas. And then the big company, some of them are using the controlling from the global headquarters, like a Supercell, King, and what is it? The Microzone and some other companies. They make a really great revenue out of the Korean market, but they still operate from their headquarters, and then the localize from the headquarters. The good thing about this way is that you can build one global strategy, global policy, but the local operation is a little bit difficult, and then nothing much can be done other than the boosting with the UA. And the second way is that they're working with the publishers. Of course, it has a low risk, but you have a low return, and then the profit level is quite low. And the third way is that some of the, especially Japanese companies, are coming into the Korea with setting up the branch. But as you already know, that it is a very high cost, and then you have to pay a lot for the development studio setup and so on. But the managing branches, also the problem-wise, it is a big headache because you have to deal with many different customer complaints, and then there's dealing with the media and something like that. So there's all pros and cons. So you have to think about how to distribute your game. But as a middle or small company, the development company, that you have to, you better talk to the big publisher who are working, very dominantly in Korea, like a Kakao or the Comtus and something like that. So I think that would be the best way to distribute your company. But other than that, you have to distribute through the Google Play and something like that. About the G-Star, G-Star is one of the largest game exhibition in Asia. And then as you see that it takes place in the port city called Busan, and the Bexco is just nearby the Busan, the beach, the port of the Busan and the beach of the Busan. And it has started since 2005, and since then that it has grown all the participation numbers and the exhibitors number and so on. So right now that we have about 2,800 booths, which is around 25,000 square meter size, and the exhibitor numbers are over 670, and then the country of the participation are from the over 35 countries, and the trade visitors last year was over 2,000 people, and the visitor number is 225,000 in the last year. So it is quite a big show, and then both B2B and the B2C, and then also conference-wise. And this G-Stars take place in the November 15th to 18th in the Bexco, Busan. Why you should come to G-Star? I think that I wrap up with some pictures. The first is that the B2B. B2B is quite big in the G-Star, and it not only participating from Korea, but also from China, Japan, or South Asia, even the European developers and then the publishers are coming. Not only the European, but the American or even the South American companies are coming to show their, to sell their the products, the games, or some big publishers are coming to recruit or the source the games from Korea, or not only the Korea, but from Asia or from other countries as well. So it is quite a big market and provide big opportunities. And then also you can meet a lot of the big Korean publishers like a Kakao Game or Smilegate, and then like Chinese publishers like Tencent are all there to source the small games or the mobile games or indie games as well. And secondly, the second reason is that it's a party, I guess, because since the Busan is not so big city, and the location where the G-Star take place is a beach area, and where all the participants, big companies, making the gatherings or parties. So you can have a lot of the networking even after the business hours. So, you can meet and discuss very in detail and getting closer to the other people from other parties from the overseas. So you have a really good chance to make a good network with the other industry people from overseas. Okay. And then the third one is that there is a beach area, so you have a really nice atmosphere, and then you can spend a really nice time. So many of the participants joined their holidays with the participation, so they spend more time after the event. And then the last one is that you can have the good witness the gaming culture of the Asia. So this is the picture of the PC cafe in Korea, and where the hundreds of all the high-end PCs are installed, so that the gamers come there to play their newest games, LOL or Overwatch or something like that. So this is quite an interesting culture. So if you only played in the Western environment with the console games, so you may develop the game which is not fit for the Asian market. So I really recommend that you take a look at the Asian or the Korean gaming atmosphere, and then get the inspiration of how to develop the game. Of course, we are very heavy user of the mobile phone, and that they play all the time in the subways or on commuting or the office or cafe or something like that. So then that you can witness what to develop and then how to develop and so on. So this is basically what I just to wrap up why you should come to the G-Star. Yep. So that's what I just said. So thank you very much, and hope to see you guys in Busan.
Thank you.
Yeah. Any questions?
Any questions? Oh, here we go. Do we have a mic all the way down? Here we go. It's best if you speak into the mic, because then we pick up the recording on the camera, you see, so it's handy. Thank you very much. Yes, you have a question for...
Thank you. Yeah. I want to ask, is it important to apply visual style to more Korean style if you are trying to release the game in Korea?
Not really, because a lot of the Western games who has a very interesting contents or uniqueness have already succeed in the Korean gaming market. So you don't not necessarily to look like an Asian game or something like that,
Yeah, and second question, how hot is it in November? Because you were showing...
Yeah, I mean, you cannot really swim unless you are really drunk, so... But it's a decent, about 10 to 15 degrees, and it's pretty mild. It's a weather nearly similar to right now, so it's okay to be there.
Great, thank you. I think we should move on there. So another round of applause for Dom Kim. Thank you.